Good morning from the Drayton Manor Resort. You're watching Adventure Planet, where today I am back here for the first time since April, where I came down, enjoyed the park's opening day, and of course the start of their 75th anniversary celebrations. Of course, Drayton Manor opened all the way back in 1950, and throughout this year, each and every month, they've been holding these kind of unique events. And throughout August, from today right the way through until the 31st, it's the start of their Drayton Waterfest event. And I wasn't really too sure what to expect from this one, so I thought I'd come down, check it all out, get on some of my favorite rides as well, and of course bring you any park updates that may have happened since my last visit in April. Now, if you do want to come down, check out the park for yourself, enjoy a little bit of Drayton Waterfest, prices start in advance online from £27.50 and it's £7.90 to park your car here. And of course, the first Saturday of every month throughout the year, they always have a nice fireworks display here at the resort. That's no different for tonight, so we'll be getting some of that later on as well. Park hours, bearing that in mind, is 10:30 right the way through until 9 o'clock. So a nice long day, which is good actually, because today it's very, very busy. The car park was absolutely full and the entrance here was really packed just a few moments ago. So it's going to be a busy day here today, but it should be great. Great atmosphere, the weather's going to be perfect. Let's head on in. And here we are then, starting off our day here at the entrance plaza with the awesome Drayton Manor Resort signage here. I really do like this. I think it makes an absolutely fantastic photo opportunity. And talking of the entrance plaza, actually, it is worth mentioning that I do think this looks absolutely fantastic now. I mean, over the past year or so, they really have tidied this up, painted it all up, made it look nice and vibrant. They removed, obviously, the ticket booths that used to be here, knocked all those down, really opened up this entrance plaza, and it really does look great. Of course, all the signage back there was redone. It was all painted up, and obviously the red, yellow and blue, and that epic family fun starts here signage looks great as well. Yeah, it all does look really, really nice around here now. And that's kind of the continued story throughout the park, really. They really have tidied it up, maintained everything. The park's looking really, really good. Much, much better than it did just 5 years ago, really. I would like to see a nice little water feature around here or something, though. You know, a little water fountain or something, featuring maybe Rory and Laurie or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, just spitting out some water or something. Maybe we can get that a little bit later on. Queues are dying down a little bit, though, now. Let's head on in. And here we are through the main entrance then, and you can just see a Maelstrom going through the trees there, and that just shows you how busy the park is as well. You can see the queue line for Maelstrom full at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be quite a long wait for the Intamin gyro swing. Absolutely fantastic ride though. But again, talking about the presentation of the park and just how it's so important. I mean, this is such a simple thing, but they just put all these planters down here at the start of this season down the main midway. And although, like I say, it is so simple, it just offers something to look at, doesn't it? Or it does make the main midway feel a lot nicer to just walk down, you know? Just the simple things that really do help. Thomas Land just off to the left there. It sounds like we've got the show going on the balcony. Hey, there we go. There he is. But we're going to make our first stop of the day over here at Adventure Cove, which is where I believe the majority of the Drayton Waterfest event actually takes place here, from what I've heard at least. Love the Adventure Cove signage. Of course, Adventure Cove opened in 2021. Hey, here comes the Polperro Express. Give way. Hey, looking forward to getting on that a little bit later on. Do like a good ride on the Polperro Express. And there is Maelstrom as well. Great vibe and atmosphere around the park today though, which is great. All the music playing, got all the deck chairs out just off to the left here as well, outside the snack station. Oh, I love all the theming for Maelstrom, I really do. I love kind of the bent lights and stuff, you know, all the surf shacks, surfboards. Yeah, I think it looks great, Maelstrom, really do. And it is a fantastic ride. It's always a bit of a toss-up whether I prefer Maelstrom here at Drayton Manor or Cyclonator over at Paulton's Park. Cyclonator, I think, is the better ride. Certainly get a much better cycle, but it's not as comfortable as Maelstrom. Those restraints really are pretty bad on the shoulders, especially if you're tall. Here we go. All the picnic tables out here. And there it is, the Wave Swinger. And yeah, of course, Adventure Cove opened back in 2021 along with the Wave Swinger. And the Tidal Towers play area as well that you can just see through there. And of course Shockwave was all painted up as well. And here we go, looks like we've have had a splash zone down here. Looks like they're just picking those up. I think, from what I can tell, it's like a twice daily water gun battle. So there you go, you got your water gun refill station here. I think you can buy water guns at the park. And also you are allowed to actually bring your own as well. And you've got the refill stations just here. And yeah, this is all a splash zone. You've got your little shops around here as well, your candy floss. And some more of your deck chairs right outside of Tidal Towers. Yeah, it looks like this is all a splash zone here. You've got some pools out here as well. You want a paddling pool? Some sprinklers? All in front of the I Love Drayton sign, which is great. And yeah, obviously have these markers down notifying you that if you do walk through here, you can get wet. And yeah, like I say, I think there is twice daily water gun battles that happen around here. So if you don't want to get wet, yeah, just avoid this area at those times. Yeah, you got the big deck chair out there just to the left. And yeah, like I say, all these pools. This is nice. I like the little makeshift garden sprinklers over there. That's pretty cool. And there we are. Yeah, we got some shows throughout the day as well. Love all these deck chairs. Yeah, it's a great day for it as well. Nice and warm. It's going to be sunny and dry today. Temperature's peaking at about 19 degrees. You've got a little pop-up beach here as well. Look, a big sand pit. There we are, Drayton Beach, right out the front of course, the absolutely awesome air race. Love this ride. It's not for everyone, this. If you don't like spinny rides, yeah, this probably isn't one for you. Do like a good Zamperla air race. Hey. Just 2 ride closures today. Blue Mountain Engines over in Thomasland, and the Bounty pirate ship is closed, unfortunately. However, I believe the Wave is down currently. I've not actually seen it running today. It did send out a test train earlier, but yeah, it's the only time I've seen it go around since leaving the car park. So yeah, it's not looking good for the Wave today. Stormforce 10 off to the left. Yeah, you got a member of staff outside the front of the Wave here. Assuming it's down for now. I'll get some more information on that shortly. And Stormforce 10 ride it out. Absolutely superb flume ride. 3 drop special, one of them backwards, that does get you absolutely soaked. And this is all really nice. This was all redone at the start of this season here with the Drayton Manor Resort signage, all the green foliage there in front of the waterfall, and the painting up of the fence, the decorations on. I think it looks really nice. They've done a good job at the start of this season. Really does look good. And Stormforce 10 ride it out with not much of a queue, actually, from what I can see. I thought this would have been pretty popular today, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Certainly as part of the Waterfest event, I thought it would have been queuing right out the front, but it doesn't seem to be at the moment. And it is a great ride, but like I say, you do get very wet on this. And unfortunately, it's all that kind of recycled lake water. It's not very clean. So yeah, it's not really my favorite water ride from that point of view. But if you've not done it before, it is definitely worth doing. Oh, and that was really well timed. The Wave has actually been down for most of the morning, but I was here just as it reopened. So let's go and get my first ride in of the day here on the Wave. Absolutely fantastic. Opened back in 1994 as Shockwave, and of course closed in 2023 as it made its transition from a stand-up coaster to a sit-down coaster with their new trains. Reopened in 2024. Unfortunately, it is still just running the one train. They really do need to get a second on here, but it is a fantastic ride. I just had a walk-on ride on the Wave then, and I'll tell you what, it's a great ride, that is. As much as I do still miss Shockwave with the stand-up coaster, the only zero-G roll on a stand-up coaster in the world, that uniqueness has obviously gone. However, in terms of comfort, this is just so much better. Just those lap bars, 4 inversions on there. You've got the vertical loop, the zero-G roll, followed by a double corkscrew. And with a height requirement of just 1.2, it means it's accessible to so many more people. It's an absolutely brilliant first thrill coaster for anybody that is around that height. Absolutely fantastic ride. Top speeds of 53 miles an hour, 120 feet tall, and it is great. All I would say is they do need to get 2 trains back on that. That queue is going to get very busy today, on a day like today, at Drayton Manor when it is excessively busy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see queue times of around an hour, maybe even in excess of that a little bit later on. 2 trains definitely required, but otherwise it's a fantastic ride. And you've got to love a good Intamin Rapids on days like today. And for the Waterfest event, all the effects are working. Hey, getting pretty wet on this one right here. Hey. Of course, this opened back in 1993. Used to be known as Splash Canyon, and it was all rethemed when Adventure Cove opened in 2021. Now known as the Adventure Cove River Rapids, and it is quite a good one, this, especially when the effects are on. You can get quite wet. So yeah, we'll make this our second ride of the day, why not?
Please remain seated and hold on to the centre ring at all times.
And I just had a nice ride on the River Rapids then, only waited about 5 minutes, pretty much of a walk-on, which is surprising actually on a day like today. Making my way back down into Adventure Cove now then, gonna head on over to Maelstrom and the Wave Swinger, see if the queue time has kind of died down a little bit. I've got to say though, I like what they've done with Waterfest here with all of the kind of the deck chairs and the decorations and the little splash zones here. The kids are absolutely loving it. They've all got their water guns, and you've got some entertainers out here as well, which is great. You've got little pop-up shops, the pop-up beach, which everyone's really enjoying. It's actually quite a unique event, I really like it. I'm not going to hang around here too much though, because I'm going to get absolutely soaked. But yeah, you got like the little shops here, just to the right as well. All really nice. Going to head on over to Maelstrom now though. The queue does still look quite large for this, but it's an absolutely fantastic gyro swing. Got to get my ride on here, so I'll join the queue regardless. And waited 35 minutes then for my ride on the 2002 Intamin Gyro Swing Maelstrom. Yeah, not the best operations to be fair, a little bit slow getting people on the ride and checked before getting dispatched. And the cycle is pretty short, as can be expected with the queue that it's got at the moment. But it is a fantastic ride, really do enjoy Maelstrom, it's great. Offers some great views over the park, it's nice and comfortable. And it's my favourite flat ride here at the park. And as mentioned earlier in the vlog, the Bounty swinging ship is one of the closures at the park today, along with Blue Mountain engines. Yeah, shame really, I do like this. Great swinging pirate ship right out over the lake, looks great. You got all the theming in place as well with the cannons and the skull and crossbones. Yeah, it's a great ride that. Shame to see it closed. Just getting its maintenance, hopefully it'll be back up and running soon. You've also got the Jolly Buccaneer right in front of us here, Dodgems ahoy. And of course the old building for the Pirates Adventure, which yeah, still no action at the moment that I can see. But yeah, really hoping that that's going to be the next investment from the park, you know, reopening that ride. It was great, really do miss that. It was kind of the UK's take on Pirates of the Caribbean. Of course you've got the Burger Kitchen just over there as well. Got Neptune's Amusements here as well, if you fancy all your arcade machines. And of course the absolutely gorgeous Drayton Manor Carousel here. Really is beautiful, isn't it? Dates back to 1958. The park's oldest attraction, that actually. Manufactured by Savage. It does look great, doesn't it? Absolutely love it. And we got a dispatch on the Pop Power Express there as we take our little tour around Adventure Cove. Stormforce 10's Lighthouse, like I say, yeah, looking really good that. And there they go, in for a soakage. That is a solid 9 out of 10 soaker, that one. And it's looking good, all the supports nicely painted up, that deep blue. I do kind of wish that they had done the supports for the Wave in that colour as well. Do like all these little models around there, these look great. A little seal there, all the boats. Do like the Polperro Express. It's a short ride just around the Adventure Cove area, like I say. Yeah, it's just nice to sit back and relax. Especially on a day like today. It's nice. The waves vertical loop. And those water effects on the river rapids. Yeah, didn't get too wet on that. A little bit of a splash. Not too much at all, really. We got some good views of the lake off on the left side as well. You see all the ducks and all the geese out there. Usually get some of them down here on the grass, but they're not here today. Yeah, looking forward to seeing the fireworks display a little bit later on as well. That starts at 9 o'clock. And like I say, that is a thing every Saturday, the first Saturday of the month, I should say, not every Saturday, the first Saturday of every month throughout the 75-year celebrations. And it's crazy to see how much the park has changed in all that time. They got a fantastic museum down at Frontier Falls dedicated to the park's history, covering everything from old advertisements to old ride props, TV adverts. If you're interested in the park's history, it's definitely a place worth visiting, and I hope they keep that. Obviously, I'm sure Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner the Theatre will return probably next season, but I'm hoping that everything they've got in that museum will be moved to somewhere else and kept for everybody to see, because I think it's fantastic. I really do. So we're at the back of the sawmill for the River Rapids. And speaking of events here at the park, actually, Waterfest is kind of the last unique event, really. Of course, we've still got Halloween and Christmas to come, but that'll be it to wrap up the year. Unfortunately, the Summer Nights event, and of course the Vikings event as well, was all retired for this season. But we've seen some great events this year as part of those 75th anniversary celebrations. It's been a great year for Drayton Manor, this.
Oh yeah.
Really pleased for the park. There's the station for the wave. Great ride. Desperately needs a second train though now. And I just came back into Adventure Cove and had a sneaky little ride on the Zamperla Air Race here. Queue didn't look too bad. However, the operations for this ride have never really been the best. So even though it looked quite a short queue, I still waited almost 30 minutes. But it's a great ride there, so I really do enjoy it. Fantastic. And yeah, it's just another quick look at this little pop-up beach here, Drayton Beach. Yeah, it's quite nice. No one really using it at the moment though. If I bought my bucket and spade, I might have got on there myself. And here we go, we've got a little bit of entertainment out here at the splash zone now. There she is. I'm not sure if Rory's here as well. I might get shot if I come through here at the moment. The kids are just shooting anybody that walks through the splash zone. Oh, it's great though, it's the weather for it, isn't it? There you go, a little bit of entertainment. Hey, there he is. A little bit of entertainment there going on in the splash zone. There they go. Everyone with their water shooters and all the deck chairs as well. That's great for the kids, that. Fantastic. You got all this theming around with the inflatables and everything as well. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. Queue quite big for the wave swinger there as well. But like I said, after I ride on the Polperro Express, got to head on over into Thomasland now to see if there's any updates to report on in that area of the park. Yeah, quite impressed what they've done with Waterfest though. Everyone taking advantage of all the deck chairs. Fantastic. Oh, Maelstrom. Definitely be getting a night ride on that a little bit later on.
Now we've got some
surprises, surprises, surprises. We have got surprises we'd love to share with you. What's it gonna be? Let's all look and see.
I'm soaked.
What are you like?
Oh, they got me.
You got to say yes! Now, everybody, get back on the Take our shoulders.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Now, I have got surprises, surprises, surprises. I have got surprises I'd love to share with you. What's it going to be? Let's all look and see. I have got some water holes, some water holes, some water holes.
Oh, this could be bad.
I'd like to share with you. Should I do this side or should I do that side? This side, that side. I'll tell you what, I'll share it. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm water in the garden. I'll do the roses. I'll do the roses. There we go. Here we go, everybody. Let's share it out and wrap it up. Surprises we'd like to share with you.
Hey.
Yes! Did you enjoy that, everybody?
And it's always a great show on the balcony there for Thomasland. But bear in mind, if you do come and watch it during Waterfest, they have got their water pistols and the water hose, as you just saw, getting everybody wet. So do bear that in mind. But yeah, here we are in Thomasland then. Just the one roller coaster in this area. Troublesome trucks, but there's a number of flat rides and a little flume ride in here as well. The area opened back in 2008. It was actually expanded in 2015. It's about 3 acres in size, and it's an absolutely fantastic family area for the kids, this. And one of my favourite flat rides here in this area is, of course, Jeremy's Flying Academy, Jeremy Jets. Great flat ride, that. And of course, you've got Flynn's Fire Rescue just to the left of that. That looks nice and refreshing on a day like today. Very apt for Waterfest as well. Yeah, everyone enjoying their ride on there. And of course, you've got Captain's Sea Adventure just off to the left as well. I've always liked that as well. It's a nicely themed ride, that. I love the big faces. You got the Sodor Airport Cafe off to the left. Some nice food to be had in there, actually. I do quite enjoy eating in there. I have brought my own lunch today, though, so yeah. It's actually getting a bit late for that as well. 2:15 now, about time for me to sit down and grab some lunch. Blue Mountain Engines just in front of us here. Like I say, that is the second ride that's down today at the resort. We've also got James and the Red Balloon here as well. Get some good spin on those. Again, nicely themed ride. Most of the rides in this area manufactured by Zamperla, with the exception of Thomas & Percy's Submarine Splash, the newest ride here in the area, opened in 2023, manufactured by Socket, this one. It's a great little flume ride, this. 2 little drops, and it's well themed as well. Hey! And well, I actually take that back. Blue Mountain Engines, although it is listed on Drayton Manor's website as being closed for today, it is actually open, which is good to see. Yeah, it's great. Adds a bit more capacity to this area of the park. And the final flat ride in this area of Thomasland is Toby. There he is. Toby's Tram Express. I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of that ride. Makes me feel a little bit queasy, that. It looks good though, doesn't it? And it's a 30-minute wait then for Thomasland's only roller coaster, Troublesome Trucks Runaway Roller Coaster. Great little family coaster, this. Opened in 2008, manufactured by Gerstlauer, and there's some nice elements to that ride. I love the train itself, love the faces on there. 2-lap special as well. And we're on the other side of Thomas Land now then, which is where, of course, you'll find Winston's Whistle Stop Tour, and there he is up there, offering his bird's eye view of the area. It's a good ride, that. It's a little bit short, and it does only cover the right side of Thomas Land, not the entire area, but it is a good ride to get on if the queue time is pretty short. Wouldn't wait any longer than 20 minutes for that. Of course, you've got Sodor Classic cars here as well. Used to be known as Veteran Cars, that. It's actually the only ride that existed before Thomas Land now. Everything else was replaced or was new for the area. You got Ladies Carousel just through there. Looks nice and colourful, doesn't it, that? I've always liked that ride. Looks really good. And then Bertie Bus. Hey, there he is. Good old Bertie. And then Diesel's Locomotive Mayhem is down here as well. Nice little Crazy Daisy type ride. This always looks quite fun, doesn't it? And there you go, Winston goes all around here. But yeah, like I say, it does offer some nice views actually. You got some of the theming obviously for the classic cars here as well. Got some sheep. You also got Harold's Helicopter Tours right in front of us. You've also got Cranky's Drop Tower, and there he is. Always looks cranky every time I come to the park. Never looks happy, does he? Now I suspect it's probably because he's really, really noisy. Unhappy with all the noise. One of the noisiest drop towers in existence, that. And then to wrap up the area, you've got Rocking Bulstrode. Nice little rocking tug attraction. And that's quite well themed as well. Yeah, it looks the part, that. Rocking Bulstrode. And let's not forget, you've also got the Thomas Land shop. Huge shop that is in there, and obviously at the top of that you've got the Thomas and Friends exhibition, which is where you'll find all the original models from those early series of Thomas. So if you're my age, you used to enjoy watching Thomas the Tank Engine, the ones narrated by like Ringo Starr and things like that, yeah, you can find all the models up there. Used to be right at the back of the park where the zoo is, but of course that, along with the Terence the Tractor ride, was all moved down to Thomas Land, which made a lot of sense at the time, but it does mean that that area of the park now is quite barren, which is a shame, really. Here he is, there's Gordon. Yeah, while we're here, we might as well get on the train and head down to that area, just see if there's anything new. I don't tend to do the zoo very often here at Drayton. I just tend to have a quick walk through, just see if there's any kind of updates, any changes. So we'll have a quick look. And this is where you board the train. Here it is, Knapford Station. Let's get on over to Tidmouth Hole. So after waiting almost 20 minutes then in the queue for Thomas, there was still absolutely no sign of him. So a lot of people, including myself, decided to call it a day and come out of the queue. So yeah, not quite sure what's happened there. There was obviously some kind of issue down at the Tidmouth Holt station. Maybe the turntables broke or something like that, or there's some kind of loading issue. Not too sure, but yeah, unfortunately, not going to wait any longer than that. 20 minutes is enough, and like I say, still no sign of him, and there was no kind of staff member coming down letting us know how long it was going to be. So operations not the best on Thomas, so I've come out of Thomas Land now, going to make my way down to the Vikings area and get my ride on Loki, I think. Come on, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I did bring my own lunch today. Look at the queue for Drayton's Fish and Chips. Stretching all the way back there, that's usually where I would get some lunch as well. Fish and chips are quite nice from in there, but here we go into the Vikings area then, an area that opened back in 2022, home to 4 rides here at the resort. And by the looks of it, yeah, look at this. Got a blow-up axe throwing stand here. That's new. Here he is. There's my buddy. Hey. Oh, I do love the Vikings area. Looks great. All the plantings starting to grow up nicely around here. Got the little water feature. Yeah, it's nice. And like I say, you got 4 rides in this area: Thor, Loki, Sleipnir, and Jormungandr, the re-themed buffalo coaster. Yeah, this all looks really nice around here, doesn't it? I still wish there was a nice big theming piece on the end of Thor, though. Yeah, looking forward to getting on that as well, actually. I missed my rides on a A good Zamperla disco, especially with Cove out of action now at Chessington. And of course you've got Loki just off to the left, the UK's first Zamperla nebulas. And they do look great from off-ride, I think. Very, very mild pops of airtime on there. They do look better from off-ride than they do riding, but yeah, I do like them. I think we need more of them in this country, to be honest. And then Sleipnir, there we are. Little pony track ride from Medelboa Melon. I gotta say, Valhalla food and drinks. Oh, that smells nice. Got all the sausages out there cooking. Oh wow, the queue for Thor. Yeah, like I say, it's a busy day here at the resort today. I wasn't really expecting it to be this busy, to be honest. But yeah, look at that. The queue stretching right back there. That's got to be a good 30 minutes. And of course, yeah, you have got Valhalla food and drinks here. You can get your wraps, ice creams, hot and cold drinks as well. Really do love this area of the park. I think it's great. The music as well. Fantastic. There is Sleipnir. All themed around Odin's horse and the Tree of Life there in the middle. And there goes Loki then. Oh, they're mesmerising to watch, aren't they? And the thing is, if you have a particularly well-themed Zamperla nebulas as well, I think they look sensational. I really do. Great rides. Currently on a 30-minute wait. But I think I'm going to get my first ride in Vikings on Thor. Hey! It really does look the part, this one, doesn't it? I'm expecting about a 30-minute wait. But I'm itching for a ride on this today, so I think it's worth it. And I waited 35 minutes for my ride on the Zamperla Disco Thor then. Yeah, got a little bit stung with fast track, and there were also 3 seats out of action on the ride, just delaying things a little bit, but only 5 minutes more than what I expected, so not too bad, and it is a great ride. Made my way over to Jormungandr now then, and as per usual for this one, the operations really aren't very good on here today. Poor old Jormungandr always seems to suffer in one way or another. Obviously this used to be the Buffalo Coaster. It is an old ride now, opened all the way back in 1987. It was rethemed into Jormungandr in 2022, along with obviously the Vikings area itself. And yeah, dispatches on this ride. I mean, I've been waiting here for almost 6 minutes now, waiting for this to come out of the station. And yeah, if you look at the queue just to the left there, I mean, that's probably, that's got to be reaching almost an hour, I would say. It's out the back, past the 45-minute advertised wait. So yeah, certainly not going to be getting on this today. I might come back and check it out a little bit later on. But yeah, I mean, it's seen better days, this coaster, definitely. Unfortunately, I can't get any off-ride footage of the downward helix over the lake either, as that's all been roped off for the fireworks a little bit later on. But I'll hang around and we'll see it getting dispatched out of the station, whenever that might be. And here comes Jormungandr then out of the station. It's actually the following Sunday from that last clip now. And there he goes. Yeah, it's actually now the 9th of August. I've been stood here all that time. I don't know what it is with the operations with Jormungandr. I know the restraints on that take a little bit of extra time, but that was almost a 12-minute dispatch time that it was sat in the station there. I mean, that's really not on, certainly not on days like today. That really, really is poor, and definitely needs to be looking at. I'm not sure, like I say, if it's a mechanical thing or whether it is just general operations, but yeah, that really needs rectifying, to be honest. That's going to be an extremely long queue time otherwise. But yeah, we'll catch it coming around the corner. Classic Zamperla powered coaster. I did like the theming that they done for the train. I think it looks great. Into the downward helix. Good old Yormi. Let's hope those in the queue line aren't waiting another 12 minutes for the next dispatch though, as I make my way out of the Vikings area now. I'm actually going to go and take a seat, grab some lunch. Oh, I'll tell you what, that lunch was absolutely delightful. Some nice cheese and onion rolls, a bag of Walkers, a nice drink. I am nice and kind of refreshed for the rest of the day now as I make my way over to the Flying Dutchman. Classic Intamin flat ride, opened back in 1983, and I do really enjoy this ride. It's great. It is kind of stuck between two areas now though, isn't it? Kind of in between Frontier Falls, in between Vikings. I feel like it kind of needs a bit of a retheme, this one, into either one of those two areas. Actually, a relocation might even suit this ride a lot better, to be honest. Move it into Vikings. Or perhaps, I don't know if it would fit anywhere in Vikings, or just theme it up to Frontier Falls, kind of make it a part of that area. Yeah, it looks a little bit misplaced at the moment, does the Flying Dutchman, but it is still a great ride. Do enjoy it. And it is currently a walk-on, so let's get on. Wow.
Come on, everyone, clap those hands.
And I just had a nice ride on the Flying Dutchman then, complete walk-on, and you've just seen highlights of the Rory Dance Show over on the main stage, where he's dancing through classic dance tracks from the 80s, 90s and noughties. And actually it was a really fun show, getting everyone in the audience really nice and involved, which was great to see. And I've made my way down to Tidmouth Holt Station now then. I didn't actually catch the train, I took the walk down just to see if there were any updates around here at the zoo at the back of the park. Here I am right next to the Patagonian Maras. I do like these, I think they're very, very sweet. But I didn't actually know that. Here we go. One of the ways Mara communicate is by weeing on each other. Oh, there we are. So yeah, maybe not, don't get too close to one of them. There they are, you can just see them through the fence there, taking in the sun. Here he is. And there's another one looking at me over there while he's eating something from the bowl. You've also got the tapirs as well, and the capybaras. It looks like Thomas is just leaving the station. There he goes. And we'll just have a little look around the zoo, see if there's anything that's been added over the past few months since I was last here in April. It is an area of the park that has been lacking investment somewhat over the past few years. Of course, you've got the play area here. This was actually closed back in April, so it's good to see that that's all back open again. Good fun for the kids. Of course, you've got the dino trail down here as well. If you want to see a little bit more of a detailed look around what's here, including the dino trail, have a look back at the vlog here from April opening day, where I did go into a little bit more detail of what's here. And don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy the zoo here at the Drayton Manor Resort. It is pretty fantastic, set across about 15 acres and features in excess of 100 different species of animals, which is great. And the conservation message here is really strong, all about kind of restoring habitats and protecting the wildlife, which is great. They've got their on-site veterinary hospital here as well, keeping the animals in tip-top condition. And I really do enjoy it. I don't tend to visit here every time I visit the park, maybe once or twice throughout a season. But when I do, it's always nice to see all the animals around in all their different enclosures. It's just a couple of areas around the zoo that just need further investment to bring them up to kind of the same standards that you'll see in the rest of the park. However, having said that though, I do have to point this out. This looks like a brand new enclosure. I definitely don't recognize this from before. As a matter of fact, I think this land used to be pretty much something of nothing. It's now actually home to the red pandas. I can't actually see any out at the moment, but yeah, you've got all this kind of fresh wood around. This is a brand new enclosure. Definitely wasn't here last time. So yeah, this is really good to see. Yeah, can't see any of the red pandas out. I'm assuming they're in their little house just down the back there, that little green building. But yeah, you can even smell the new wood here. So yeah, this is definitely all brand new. Yeah, this is great to see. So yeah, there's definitely investment happening in the zoo, which is fantastic. It's definitely what I'd like to see more of in the future. But yeah, we are, brand new enclosure for the red pandas. Definitely had to point that out. Great stuff. And I made my way back to the main entrance of the zoo now. There are no further updates that I could see from my vlog that I filmed back in April, apart from that new enclosure. But I do love the signage for the zoo. I think it's great, isn't it? The monkey there, the tiger, the parrots, all nice and 3D as well. I do like that. And of course, if you are visiting the park that does have a late closure, like I am today, where the park closes at 9, it is worth noting that the zoo doesn't stay open until that late. The zoo opens from 10 AM through until 6 o'clock. And out of the zoo then into the final area of the park, it is of course Frontier Falls, the newest area here at the Drayton Manor Resort. And they've done an absolutely fantastic job with all the theming around here, didn't they? Looks absolutely great. All the repainting that went on, all the wagon wheels, all the wood effects. I think it looks great around here. Absolutely fantastic. They've done a great job. Love the signage for Frontier Falls as well. Got the haunting, blasting barrels, sheriff showdown. No sign of accelerator or gold rush on there though, which is an interesting choice. Thought they would have put that on there by now, but yeah, it's conspicuous by its absence, let's say. And of course we've got accelerator just off to the right. The park's Vekoma Boomerang opened in 2011, and I think, to be honest, they pretty much finished with the re-theme on this ride. They've kind of gone down the route of this high voltage electric-co kind of theme, which has given them the excuse to leave these kind of silver buildings in here with these electric pylons across the top. I gotta be honest, I think it's the part of Frontier Falls that I actually don't really like. I think they should have got rid of those, given the coaster a nice repaint, and kind of really properly themed it in to Frontier Falls. I mean, I like this section here with the kind of the wood that they're doing and the new signage. That looks really nice. But I just think the rest of this kind of section here should have been removed to really kind of theme it in better with Frontier Falls. But having said that though, it is just a 10-minute wait for this. So yeah, let's hop on. Why not? And waited 15 minutes then for row number 4 on accelerator. Here she comes. Hey. And just had my ride on accelerator then. Waited 15 minutes to really enjoy a good Vekoma Boomerang, and that one is no exception. Like I say, I just hope the theming gets updated on that at some point in the future. The Falls Theatre, of course, still housing that absolutely awesome museum that opened at the start of this season as a celebration of the 75 years of Drayton Manor. It really is a fantastic museum, that worth checking out if you've not already done so. Some great ride props in there, some old TV advertisements, old park maps, some great photo opportunities. And of course the main film in the theatre itself, which takes you all the way back to 1950, talking about the original owners, the Bryan family. It really is an interesting watch, definitely worth doing. And of course the theming extends to Frontier Falls out here as well, with the bank and the jail. It all looks great. And they're doing a great job of maintaining it here. The presentation, such an important part of a theme park. And Drayton Manor really have come a long way in just the 5 years really since the pandemic, where Drayton Manor was in a lot of trouble. The haunting just off to the left, Vekoma Madhouse. Yeah, it's gone in here, why not? Sure the queue won't be too bad. And waited 35 minutes then for my ride on The Haunting of Vekoma Madhouse that opened here back in 1996. A little bit longer than I would have liked to have waited for that. However, I just missed out on the first batch. Obviously, you're batched up into groups for that ride, with each batch moving through every 15 minutes. So it can feel quite slow if you're just stood there not moving. However, I do quite like the ride. Really enjoy the pre-shows. Like the story there with Dr. X, and obviously the team that goes in, they all get killed. You have that hallway you walk through, the animatronics in the ceiling. All looks really cool. And then of course the lady of the house with her scary facial effects and all the other animatronics that happen in that room is actually pretty spooky, especially for young kids. In terms of the Madhouse itself though, yeah, it is one of the weaker ones here in the UK. There's nothing notable about the soundtrack or anything like that, and the cycle is quite short. However, it is always good to get a ride on The Haunting here at the resort. Gonna head on over and see if I can get a bonus now on Sheriff Showdown. And I was just about to enter Sheriff Showdown to earn myself a bonus, but after having spoken to a couple of people around the park, there appears to have been an incident with one of Gold Rush's trains, and it's currently now just operating on the one train. And there's only 50 minutes left of park time, so I don't want to miss my ride on Gold Rush, so I'm going to have to give Sheriff Showdown a miss for now. If you do want to see me earning a bonus, feel free to check out the opening day vlog where I did ride that. I got a very, very poor score, as always. But of course, Gold Rush, the newest coaster here at Drayton Manor and my favourite at the park. It's an absolutely fantastic ride. The theming around here is absolutely great. Love all the music in the tunnel. Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely love getting a ride on Gold Rush. Of course, you have two different modes of operation for this ride, and it used to be random, but it now changes at 2 o'clock every day. So at the moment it's running the cycle where you go straight over the top of the lift hill and you get that reverse launch out of this building right here. Oh, I love it around here. It really does look great. But yeah, just a little bit concerned about the queue time for this ride. Obviously running one train really isn't ideal on any coaster. But yeah, with Gold Rush, we could be looking at quite a long queue time here. We'll see. So unfortunately then, I'm not going to get my ride on Gold Rush today, which is a real shame. I absolutely love this coaster. Been queuing for about 25 to 30 minutes, but hadn't even reached the station, was still in the outside area. They put an announcement out saying that due to the fireworks, Gold Rush does have to cease operations at 9 o'clock. So basically, take your chance as to whether you're going to get to the station and get your spot on the train or not. Unfortunately, with it running one train and there being fast pass there today as as well. I felt like there was no way I was going to get there in time. To be honest, I feel like that's a little bit poor from the park, really. I feel like they really could have done with closing the entrance to stop people from queuing. A lot of people there very frustrated that they've queued for some time and then now they're going to have to leave because you're pretty much guaranteed not to get a chance of your ride on there unless you're quite far forward into the queue line. So yeah, it's a shame. Unfortunately, operations here, I will say, have been, well, let's just say not the best here today at the park. Usually they're pretty good here at Drayton Manor. Today, it's been a busy day. They have been tested, and certainly on a few of the rides, they have fallen apart, which is unfortunate. However, I'm going to head back over to the lake now, then pick my spot for the fireworks, and highlights of that show will be coming up. It's a shame that I didn't get my ride on Gold Rush, but I did just want to point out that they have actually closed the queue line area now, which is good to see, albeit a little bit too late, I think. Yeah, just a little bit better queue line management would have been appreciated there. It would have stopped a lot of people getting quite frustrated at having been told that, you know, you may or may not get your ride when, yeah, it was pretty obvious that we weren't going to make it on that one train. It was moving really, really slow. Operations in general, though, have not been the best on Gold Rush. I mean, to be honest, even on the one train, we're looking at 5-minute dispatches from the time that I've been stood here. So yeah, it hasn't really been that great. And it's just a quick look at blasting barrels. And I really did like the re-theme they've done with this, even though I do miss my big German wife. They used to be at the front here. I think what they've done was really, really cool. All kind of the dynamite and the blasting powder around here. And they actually added some smoke effects on the barrels just down here as well. And it's a great ride. Pretty much a walk-on at the moment, manufactured by Intamin, this one. Actually replaced Cyclone, the Huss Enterprise that they used to have here. Of course, that now operates over at Thorpe Park under the name Zodiac. But yeah, I really do like it. Love all the signage. And like I say, it's a fun ride. Again, you can get a good spin on here if there's plenty of you in the car. And I've taken my spot for the fireworks then. It's nice to see they've got the fire pits back here that you can toast some marshmallows on if you do have any on you. You can also buy some at the shop here as well. A little bit smoky though. Oh, wow, maybe I might move. And with those highlights of the fireworks display then here at Drayton Manor, that's going to bring this vlog to a close. And you know what? Let's talk about the positives. That firework display is fantastic. Really, really do enjoy it. It's the same show that's been getting shown throughout the year as part of the 75th anniversary celebrations. And I think it's great. I love the way it's set across the lake. There's some real loud boomer fireworks in there, which are fantastic. And I love the way that it's set to all the hits dating back to the 1950s through to the present day. But what really makes it special is kind of the inclusion of the old Drayton Manor adverts in there. I think that really does make it. You've got G-Force in there, Apocalypse, Shockwave, and it's just nice to kind of listen out to see which ones that you do recognise from back in the days when it was advertised on the TV. I think that's great. Really, really good show. About 10 minutes in length. Really, really worth seeing. Other positives around the park today, yeah, great to see some investment in the zoo. Really wasn't expecting that today with that brand new enclosure for the red pandas. Really, really nice. Hope to see more investment in the zoo going forward there. And the main reason I visited today, which was the Waterfest event, which I thought was fantastic. What they've done over at Adventure Cove really is great, with all the deck chairs, all the theming and decorations around, the entertainers getting involved, like Laurie with a super soaker getting everybody wet in the splash zone, the music in that area, the little pop-up shops, the pop-up beach I think is fantastic. I think what they've done in that area really is great. And yeah, it's definitely worth coming down and seeing. The kids were absolutely loving it today, and I can't blame them. On days like today where the weather has been pretty warm, it really does come into its own. So hopefully they get a lot more days like that where they can really put on a good show for Waterfest. Also the shows as well on the main stage with obviously Rory and Laurie and the entertainers around. Really good show. And then the balcony show in Thomasland with the super soakers and the water hose and all that. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really enjoyed the event. Unfortunately though, I do have to touch a little bit on the negatives of today, and that's mainly been the ops. The ops have been questionable at best today. A lot of rides kind of fell apart. You had the Wave, which opened late. Jormungandr was pretty terrible, as it usually is. Maelstrom, the Thomas train, where everyone just kind of left because we didn't know what was going on. And obviously what happened with Gold Rush towards the end of the day. I do think a better queue line management would have been better there. Yes, they did close the queue line in the end, but I just felt like it came a little bit too late after people had been queuing for quite a while due to it being on one train. That's no fault of the parks, obviously. If that's a hardware issue, that obviously lies with Intamin. I hope that that issue does get resolved. But yeah, there were a lot of people that were queuing for quite some time, only to be told over an announcement that they're likely not going to reach the train on time because Gold Rush had to cease operations at 9 p.m. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit off, to be honest. So hopefully that gets, it doesn't happen again in the future, and they do close that queue line off a lot earlier than they did today. Otherwise though, it's been fantastic. I've done 3 of the 5 coasters that they've got here at the park, a number of flat rides, and overall I've actually had a really good day here at the resort. So yeah, looking forward to coming back for Halloween and Christmas when those events start in the not too distant future. But from here at the Drayton Manor Resort, I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy riding everybody, and I shall see you in the next video.